Everyone is talking about Australians and mortgage debt and debt blowing out. Are we mortgage junkies? Let's look at the numbers and let's chat. Stay tuned.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Minutes. Myself, Michael BURGIO, Mark, Novak, episode 507. Australian debt level, the mortgage level. Is it too high? Is the economy, is the market going to burst? Let's talk about the actual numbers on a very holistic view, because I think a lot of people, what stems the conversation is a lot of people are looking to get loans at 90%, 95% themselves, or their friends are. And they know people who are all getting all these, basically, where the bank owns majority of the property. Is that sustainable? How does the whole property market look if you take a look back? Because I think that was that's the key thing. That sort of integrity of the economy, debt versus value. That's like anything. If you own more than what it's worth, you're in trouble. If you don't have much equity, you're in trouble. So let's have a chat about it.
I always get nailed with this stuff. Whenever I write really positive stuff about the property market, you always get your trollers on affordability. And affordability is a big concern for me as well. But I also am optimistic about the property market. So it's sort of like I'm compassionate with people that are trying to get into the market, try to save a deposit. But I'm very passionate about property is a good investment. And the people are always using mortgage stress and affordability as a lever of we're in trouble. But some information that's just come out from RP data, our friends, our heroes in data, it's like, you know what? Let's have a look at these numbers. So, Michael, over to you. Just to qualify who RP data is, right? So every single property that's sold in Australia gets the stamp duty is paid, and the sale gets registered with Land Titles Office. So the Land Titles Office knows every suburb, every sale. Now, RP Data are one of the many companies, but probably the main player in buying that sales data and then actually pulling out of that sales data real information, analytics, facts, and stuff like that. So when they say this much amount of property traded in Australia last year, fact. When they say this suburb grew from this in 2020 to that in 2021, it's true. So when these guys are talking about the value of Australian properties on average, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and once I saw this data, it changed my whole view on the Australian property market, where especially earlier on, you would always hear people talking about, could the market burst? It's gone up, it's unsustainable. And you hear so much of it, you sort of think in the back of your mind, well, yeah, it could be true. Once I saw these numbers, all that went to bed. And it's like, no, we have a super stable economy as of now. And basically the two figures were what the Australian property market value of all the residential property in Australia, what's it add up to, which is $8.9 trillion, which...
Okay, so the value of every property in Australia, an estimate on the value of every property in Australia, residential is how much?
$8.9 trillion.
Let's say 9 million, shall we?
Just say 9 million. And then if you add up all the mortgages for that $9 trillion, it equals $1.9 trillion. So what's that? 20-odd% like debt to value ratio, which is super healthy. Super healthy. And it was, I think it's about 60% or 55% of people have no debt on their property. So debtless, mortgage free. So it's a very strong. So that changed my mindset going, well, even if rates go up, like if you think of a market crash, that means you're going to need to have a majority of people defaulting, panicking, and selling to get that sort of chain reaction. And if only 40% have debt, and of that 40%, it's like only 20% of the value. That you're not going to have that mass exodus of people struggling, even if the value goes down. If you've got no mortgage on your house, and let's say it goes down 30%, you don't really care. You need somewhere to live. People forget that when they're saying about all this stuff. Like, even if the market goes down 30%, 40%, one, they have no debt.
We're forgetting about something as well. That debt that's there is also a half to a third less in terms of repayments, because Aussies had always had debt on houses, but these debts have been paid back on 7.5%, 7%.
Yeah. But even if people say the overall rates will eventually go up from 1.5, like, it still doesn't check. Like, that's about your 1.9 trillion. If the repayment's 2%, 5%, it's still 1.9 trillion over the value of 9 trillion. So it's still super healthy, because I look at it like, if the market fluctuates, it's like gambling. When you're down money and you're still betting, you're losing. You have not lost. So a homeowner, just if the market goes down, one, they still need somewhere to live, but they hold on to the asset, and over time we've seen it back up. So it just gave me super confidence. And some other numbers.
Okay, so anyone who's just tuned in, the Australian economy is worth $9 billion, and the debt level on mortgages on property, residential, is 1.9 trillion. Sorry, is it trillion?
Yep.
Trillion. So that puts an average person, one in, because when you borrow money, the bank will give you 80% loan. So if you consider that, those people are all sitting at 25% loans. That's pretty low.
And then some other numbers. The commercial market is worth 975 billion. The superannuation is 3.1. Oh, let me do.
So I love this going from Lisa.
People's super is worth more than the commercial market Australia, and listed stocks is 2.8 trillion. So they don't give you the debt ratios on all that, but it says on the property.
So there's more superannuation savings in Australia than there are mortgages.
Correct. Yep.
Wow. So we're still a really nice, robust economy. I know COVID's been stressing us out, and I know times are tough for some particular Australians that are in the wrong industry, an industry that's been affected, not the wrong industry. But when you consider how robust these numbers are, like, people should feel safe.
Yeah, 100%. There'll be fluctuations, but the overall economy is healthy. And like, for that to skew, you would have to have a combination of a dropping market, and then the bank. If we're that healthy and we're already giving 90% loans and 95%, maybe over the next 30 years, if we keep only giving 95% loans and we haven't had growth, then maybe they're going to tweak stuff. But as of today, if you're looking at your long-term plan, like, people always say, oh, things were easy in the 80s, 90s buying property. You would look at that outlook and be like, we're still very good. There's no reason why I shouldn't have a 20 or 30-year plan in the property market with such a healthy debt to loan ratio.
And also, like, first home buyers, like, it's a record high amount of incentives that are out there for people to assist people with 5% deposits. So to assist people to be able to use their super to purchase, to assist people to get into property. There's so many things out there for people now, which is good. And I think it's at the end of the day, property debt's been a healthy, really healthy discipline for people to have. Lisa Novak calls this the mathematics show. What do you think about that, Burge?
Numbers. Lisa doesn't like numbers, so that's all right. I love numbers.
We're always doing numbers. Well, that's a wrap. Good morning, Luke Maroney, you legend. Great buyer's agent, guys and girls. If you need a buyer's agent to buy something particularly,
I want to dig deep in the numbers with you. Luke can. Don't call
He
Luke.
loves,
Call
he
Luke.
loves the numbers as well. But no, great fun fact today. Thank you for surfacing that. Aussies, you should feel good to be sitting on a $9 trillion property market, to be sitting on $1.9 trillion worth of debt. That, in
Healthy.
my opinion, is healthy. But who am I? I'm not an economist, but it sounds right.
Yeah. But we're an opinion show, so we can give that out.
We're in a what?
An opinion show, so we can give that out.
That's it. It's just an opinion, but it's good. So, and get in there, guys. It's still. I don't think. I think buying at the top or bottom or middle of the market, it's sort of as irrelevant. It's how long you own the property. So, if there's any considerations of buying something, it's still a very, very good time just to get in there and buy something.
Yeah, close your eyes, buy something, and then wait 20 years to judge it.
That's it.
Perfect.
Double and
Thank
double.
you, everyone.
Take care. See you, legend.